Back when Echo VR shut down late last year, it felt like it'd be a while until good VR esport brought back competitive gameplay to VR. That's why a few months later, I went to the A2 First Look event to check out the progress of the game and see what it's all about. And spending the time to go to Vegas and see what the devs had to offer after only 14 weeks of development, I was blown away. Not because of what the game was at the time, but the absolute potential that it showed and the dedication I saw in the devs and the community that was at the event.
When the devs went on stage to talk, everything fell into place and their plans became clear. Orion Drift, or at the time A2, started out as a zero-G space station with a few arenas attached where you could paddle and drift around, but it was easy to get lost, and the arenas were sort of segregated from each other, but that all changed when they introduced the Orion, a massive ship shaped like a ring, where there was so much more room and you weren't going to get lost as easily as the old Vegas build. The zero G area is still under construction in the middle of the ring. However, Taco Ball, golf, climbing, and parkour district are all playable right now. So far, the game seems to have stuck closely to what the devs had said at Vegas, promising an experience with great social presence, and that presence is part of why this game has taken a little bit longer to release than initially planned. It's just huge. I know it may be hard to see from the screenshots and the video released so far, but the Orion is so massive, and the scope of play that Orion Drift is going to provide has grown so much since Vegas that they've taken the time to do it right. And they are doing it right. The video they released last week shows that they really are thinking about the community, and they aren't afraid to show it. From having Sir Dimwee to cast the game in the trailer, to a setting where you and your friends get to seamlessly go from game mode to game mode, Orion Drift is changing the way that competitive and social VR takes place. VR doesn't have to be a loading screen between experiences. You can go straight there and be with your friends along the way. The studio is currently working on the game with their community within early access, which you can join. Linked below, I have the Orion Drift Discord and the form to fill out your application to the early access. This is the only way you can play Orion Drift until they release the game as an open early access. But as of right now, we don't know when that could be, so be sure that you do that so you can grab your spot in early access and play Orion Drift. They're accepting new applicants all the time, so don't feel discouraged because you really do have a chance. I don't think this is something that you want to miss out on. Having said all of that, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you can stay in the loop for Orion Drift news and content in the coming months. Like I said, links are in the description so that you can apply and play Orion Drift. I'll see you in the game.